Oh hey Reddit, that's very nice that there was this huge Reddit post that got me a lot of views and a lot of likes on my video. Very cool, even if it was on this very controversial subreddit that apparently doesn't get along with other subreddits who are offended by it. Oh, and look, there's someone who made this, who retold this joke by game theory that was made up by Edmund. I'm real. I'm a real boy. You gotta believe me. And also, there's a video where I talk to Edmund, so you can see that we're not the same. But yeah, that was pretty cool. I got lots of likes then, and it's awesome if someone reposts my stuff somewhere and it gets me a lot of attention. It's great. And this time it was good attention as well. Got a lot of upvotes because a lot of likes on YouTube because people don't like Anita anymore, which makes sense. Wonder if they ever liked her, or if there's always just this very small group of people who liked her. Who knows? This video by Cracked, however, has gotten a lot less likes, in fact a lot of dislikes. Oh, sillycrack.com, cracking all the jokes. Or at least, so you could think. It's obvious that sometimes they're just creating YouTube fodder that people will just be forced to react to because of how stupid it is, and other times they're generally misleaded in a way that they think that spouting off social justice warrior messages as if they were just the real deal. Oh, silly cracked. And then there's the other times that are just outright clickbaity. It's just a really weird way of how this has become a thing. Every once in a while they make videos that are fairly good, but then there's these other videos that are just there to create reactions, such as this one. So of course the entire YouTube has already reacted to this. Even Rags made a 1 hour reaction video to it. Reaction video might not be the best word here. He definitely has made a refutation, I suppose. Oh yeah, and I've seen lots of documentation and other videos that were very offended by Cracked's newest exploit here, or not so new anymore. I have had this video on for a while, this video that you're watching right now. I wanted to release it sooner, but something kept popping up and I never got it quite right, so sorry about that. And now I'm obviously far too late, and the time has passed for this to be relevant. But I guess it's still relevant in a way, because it's hilarious to point out how much attention Cracked has gotten just by saying the dumbest thing possible. Huh. And all these people are just taking it seriously as if they meant every word. So on the surface you think that this guy is trying to make statements about how games should be more artistic and less violent, and on some levels it makes sense. On some levels he has some good points, but on some other levels he's just belittling what other people think, and then in return they've ganged together and just made lots of videos where they calling him a fake gamer and other ridiculous things, which is, I don't know, he might be a fake gamer, he might not be, you don't know, I don't know, don't bring up that point. There's no such thing as a fake gamer, or is there? I mean, it's fine to refute him with logic and stuff, but just calling someone a fake gamer, that's retarded. Either he plays games or he doesn't, but you can't tell. So originally I thought he had some good points, and I liked the way that I thought he was humble in a way, where he said that his own videos are an art, for example. I thought that was kind of humbling in a way, but I might be giving him too much credit. Maybe he just didn't realize how arrogant he is. I couldn't have bared to continue watching him any further, because I watched a lot of videos where he's been refuted, and I couldn't watch him anymore because I've just heard him too many times, so I'm just going to be talking about the actual topics of his video and not about how he made them or anything, or I guess. I want to get into the ways that I have agreement for his points. His very few points, that is, because he really is quite fucking bad at this. At one point he says he likes violence in games, then he says he doesn't like that there's so much violence in games, and he says that story in games is boring, and then he says that we should just admit to ourselves that we don't like the story in games. So really he just rambles on and it makes no sense. I hope I don't do that in this video. So he makes a point about the fact that video games are a lot about killing, and I agree that that is the case. Because if you think about it, most of the games really have just the problem of there being an enemy, and the solution is to kill it. And if you think about it, that is a lot of the games out there. Even games that would seem completely innocent, such as Mario, you basically kill the enemies. I mean, that's just what you do in it. Now, I didn't know if he was counting that kind of violence as violence too, but I'm just going to count it here, because if there were more different kinds of mechanics to a game than just remove the objects that are in your way, being enemies, then maybe we could have more interesting games. Not because violence is bad, but just because there could be more game designs that we could explore. And I was thinking at one point that is an issue, and I thought I would make a non-violent game at one point. I thought I would make a game where you are a firefighter and you have to save little people out of burning buildings, and there is no killing, and all you do is just get them to safety. And I almost made that game, but I never got to it. Yes, artistic differences with the artist. But not to worry about that. I wonder if that would have been a good game, or would it have been boring, because all the cool violence only happens if you fail the game. So if you don't rescue them, then you can see them get crushed by stuff or get burned alive. So basically it'll be an opposite game where all the cool payoff happens if you fuck up and not if you succeed. Unless of course you have a huge orgy at the end with all the people that you save, but that's not gonna make it on Steam, is it? Unless it's the Witcher style with all kinds of softcore porn. And suggestive porn, not actual porn. Oh yes, of course. That is the solution, yes! We just need more sex games and less killing games. But yeah, anyways, all the cool games that I play are definitely about killing, because that's a good way of making them competitive. Whoever kills the other one first wins. Or in a team battle, whoever works together to kill the others wins. But maybe this whole thing is just pointless to think about. I love violent video games, you know. There was that whole playthrough I did of Postal 2 where you could blow people's heads up, dismember them, and they would still crawl around. You could set them on fire and you could piss on them, and it was just a beautiful sandbox of possibilities of violence, to which these other games don't usually live up to. Usually you just have one option, shoot them. And sometimes the heads wouldn't even explode. I guess Fallout 4 has nice shooting physics, shooting gibs. GTA, I don't remember. I don't think anyone explodes in that. No extra gore there. But I think violence is awesome. But also, to me, it doesn't really make a difference if there's violence in a game or not. It's just there. Sometimes it's a mechanic, sometimes the game doesn't even pay attention to it, even though it is a mechanic. So really, from a gameplay standpoint, it doesn't really make too much difference if you have violence in there or not. I mean, yes it does, but the amount of violence isn't relevant. The gore isn't, it's never indulged. The NPCs aren't disgusted by it. They're never afraid for their life particularly. I think they did that in Postal a bit. It's just that the violence is there, and then no one acknowledges it, and then they just every NPC acts as if nothing happened. Sometimes you would even be splattered in blood, and they would talk to you as if you weren't. So I really like violence in games. It's just that it's not always implemented very interestingly. So in a lot of games you could remove the violence and you wouldn't really lose anything but eye candy. It would just be less beautiful that way, I suppose. And that's how it is when you censor games, and sometimes they have the option to remove ragdolls. I think Team Fortress had a German version where there was no ragdolls, and it just had the party mode on all the time, where you would just get gifts and confetti out of dead people instead of body parts, and that made no difference. Yeah. So I guess I really don't care too much about the violence, and I don't care about killing things. It's just that sometimes it's really well done. Sometimes the game is just really addictive in the way that you can kill things, and it's great. But other times you can't kill things, and it's not even encouraged, like in GTA. I feel like GTA hardly encourages me to be violent in itself, that is. Games aren't going to make me violent outside of games. That would be silly. Unless it's League of Legends. That game really could make you mad if you if you get into it. You could really want to kill someone in real life. And that game doesn't even have excessive violence. I mean, sure it does, but it's so far out that you hardly see it. It's so zoomed out that it doesn't have dismemberments or anything. Oh hey, that was another one of his points, wasn't it? That apparently games make us angry. Yes, games that are challenging and games where you can get your ass kicked by other players, those make us angry. But games where we get to kill people, that's good fun. That's no problem. Oh, silly guy. So the rest of his points are fairly short and dumb and easily dismissed. What do we have here? We don't care if games are art or not. Yes, that's correct. Fun is the only problem. The only virtue that games have. Being art, debatable. For one thing, everything is art. Even if it's just shooting people, it's still art. It's artificial. It's artistic. It's art. Because it's been made by someone for a frivolous purpose, such as entertainment. And that makes it art. Silly dumbass doesn't understand what art is. Alright. We do not care about stories is other point. And he's right, because I don't care about story. But then again, there's some people who care about story, so maybe we shouldn't generalize this one. And what's his final point? Video games are not relaxing. Debatable again. To me, they're not too relaxing, because I usually play them under stress of making Let's Play videos, so that's really more thrilling than relaxing. Or if I play League, that's even more. That's very competitive. Very insane. But there's some games that are relaxing even to me. So that's another non-point that he's made there. Alright. Yeah, so there we go. Never listen to Cracked when it comes to anything other than being funny. Goodbye. Oh, subscribe and share and like and all the things. Make me the star of the universe, please.